public school in Washington, has black-only dormitories. Is that something you would support?
I mean, I would probably live in one, but I mean,
Wait, so you don't want to live with white people?
I didn't say, I mean, I didn't say that.
What? Well, you didn't say you supported it, but you're kind of implying it.
More than anything else, we should care about character, not skin color. Do you agree with that?
It's not, I don't believe it.
Just say you agree.
Hi, my name is Erin. I'm a student here, and I'm an African American Studies major. But one thing I do agree with that you haven't said tonight is the school choice thing. I do agree that you should be able to go to a school that's outside of your zip code. I went to a great high school. That's exactly why I was able to come here. But my other question is that what are some examples of critical race theory? Because I know, like, another question that another girl came, she said that she had to learn CRT in her sorority, and what I thought it was is that, you know, you should know how to interact with people of other races, because I went to a school where it's, you know, mostly Caucasian people, and I had to learn how to interact with other people. So is it something like that, or is it something deeper that we don't really know?
From what I understand, and before Charlie Kirk answers, and I don't want to speak for the masses. This is just my personal opinion from what I've seen. Critical race theory is the study of how racial tension is expressed throughout society in ways that we cannot see. And the reason I define it as this is because as racism, outward racism decreases, people still need a way to say something is racist. And I'm not just saying that randomly. I'm saying that based off of what I've seen. And critical race theory is the perfect thing for that. It's a way to say that is racist without someone not actually being racist. And it's the study of that. That's what I've noticed. If I'm wrong, let me know. I'll accept it. I'm open to learn, but let's continue.
No, it's super simple. So let me just kind of ask you, I bet we agree. Do you support black-only dormitories?
Well, when I think of black-only dormitories, I believe that you're talking about, like, maybe HBCUs, because it's mostly black people.
No.
Where are these?
Western Washington University, public school in Washington, has black-only dormitories. Is that something you would support?
I mean, I would probably live in one, but I mean,
Wait, so you don't want to live with white people?
I didn't say, I mean, I didn't say that.
What?
But, I mean, it's kind of hard. Sometimes, like, I have multiple, I mean, you know, I have a lot of white friends or whatever, but sometimes, I mean, it's hard to fit in here when you go here and you're a different color. I mean, it's not hard
What would you support white-only dormitories?
It's some around here. Not many black people go here, so it technically is white only if you think about it.
No, it's not. No,
I mean,
let me ask you another question.
I don't think anybody here would. Oh, well, some people might, you know, support that. I mean, I never said I supported any only kind of thing.
No.
Well, you didn't say you supported it, but you're kind of implying it, saying that you will live in a black-only dormitory. Maybe she's trying to say you feel more comfortable around black people. Maybe that's what you're saying, but it's kind of a contradiction because there are schools that are majority black, just like there are schools that are majority white. This has nothing to do with race. That's just a fact. We're in America. There are schools that are majority black. Why didn't you choose one of these schools if you feel so uncomfortable around white people to the point where you feel it's necessary to want to live in a white-only dormitory? And the reason I'm bringing this up is because you're living around white people right now, and white people have feelings. Believe it or not, they have feelings. So let's say somebody wanted to be your friend in the crowd. Let's say you do have some friends in the crowd, and they hear you saying, "Oh, I would only want to live in a black-only dormitory." How do you think that makes them feel? The same way if a black person had a white friend, if I had a white friend and I heard them say, "Well, I would only want to live in a white-only," that would make me feel a type of way. I'm sorry, it would, because I'm human, the same way they're human. And this dehumanization of it's like you don't even realize what you're doing. But anyway, let's go.
That's why I'm asking, right? I think that, you know.
Do you support white-only dormitories?
Absolutely not. I think it would be racist.
It's preposterous. I believe that.
And guess what? Black-only dormitories are racist too.
I mean, I guess so. I might live in one if I could, but I can't. So.
Okay. Well, let me ask you another question. At Columbia University, they have black-only graduation ceremonies. Would you support that?
I mean, is it just like, so are they not able to graduate with the white people? Is that why they can't?
Well, they have
do
a
it?
separate ceremony just for black people.
Oh, I mean, I guess it's kind of like the separate ceremony when they don't want to go to graduation. They want to do it online. That's how I think of it.
So do you think segregation is evil and wrong?
I mean, black people weren't even able to join sororities here until 2012. So, not the PhD one. So, you know, segregation here. George Wallace stood in front of the doors.
I just know that's not true, and like there's.
Okay, when were PhD sororities and fraternities desegregated? 2013. Oh,
so you're trying to tell me that black people were not able to join a fraternity because of the color of their skin?
Do you remember George Wallace too? Segregation now, segregation, you know, for all, forever.
That's what.
Bro, what is she talking about? Okay, let's go. Let's go. I'm sorry. I'm just a little confused on what she's actually talking about. She went from sororities at her university to 2012. Then she changed it from 2012 to 2013. Then she brought up George Wallace. So let's continue.
What happened as well?
That's what you're espousing when you say that black-only graduation ceremonies or dormitories.
Black-only graduation ceremonies are the least of our problems, least of yours. Do you think that you'll be able to go to a HBCU and have this same turnout and have these same people? Let me tell you.
I would hope so, but I mean.
So what would you say to them?
But here's the thing. I'm sorry, what?
What would you say to a room full of black people about critical race theory?
You know what I would say? I'd say your skin color means nothing. You're made in the image of God.
You're right. But I completely agree. But I can tell you right now. I'm a Christian. I believe in God, but I have been going here for 3 years. I'm a junior. I have I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
I have most definitely faced racism and prejudice no matter what I believe in, and it's just really hard to sit up here and listen to people come up here and say, oh, I don't want to learn CRT. It's just making you able to interact with other types of people. I have no problem.
No, it's not. So let me just tell you. So at the Georgia Public Schools in Atlanta, they put black sixth graders in one classroom and white sixth graders in another classroom. Is that evil?
I've never seen. Can you show me a video of those kids?
Atlanta segregation of public schools.
And this is my problem. First of all, we're in 2024. Why are you segregating children like we're in the 1940s? Anyways, the problem is that he asked, is this evil? A normal human would just say, yes, that's evil and weird. The same way I instinctively paused the video and said that. It's just weird. Why are you segregating children? And what do you do with the mixed children or the biracial children or the Asian children or the Latino children? Are they just ignored? Anyways. Her response was, I want to see that video. You ignored the is it evil question. You ignored that completely. Which makes me believe that you don't think that's evil. You think that's normal. You think it's necessary, probably. I don't know what you think. I just know that you can't be thinking like this and being a functioning member of society with these dark thoughts. No offense to her, but I hope that's not what. I hope she doesn't support that.
Well, it was please show me. Not to interrupt, but I have family members that go to schools in these areas, and I also have people who live in redlining districts where they can't go to good schools.
Do you support segregation?
No, I do not.
Okay, we agree. Therefore, black-only dormitories and black-only graduation ceremonies and putting sixth graders in one classroom based on skin color or the other, those are outgrowths of CRT.
So tell me, give me an example of what critical race theory is. That was my first question.
I'll be happy to tell you. So critical race theory is an emphasis at saying skin color matters, that the color of someone's skin is important in judging the value of the human being.
I get that, but if you were teaching a class that is like that was talking about critical race theory, we were all sitting here.
Yes.
What would your lecture be? Like, tell me what are your points? Like, who is this author that you're reading from?
Herbert Marcuse, and an author by the last name of Spinoza, wrote a book called One-Dimensional Man in the 1960s. Herbert Marcuse came from the Frankfurt School in the 1930s, and he started this at Columbia University. Coming out of a Marxist belief of power dynamics, he believed that power struggles were not just the rich versus the poor, but also black versus white. and he wanted to expand the kind of conversation to also engage racial dynamics. Inherent in critical race theory is a belief that people are not individuals, they're members of tribes. Inherent in the idea of critical race theory is that there is no free speech or reason or scientific inquiry. These are white supremacist, Eurocentric constructs that have been put into the Western world. And the one that is the one that I think that is most prevalent, CRT believes racism is everywhere, that racism is the norm, that racism is within our systems, it's in our language, it's in our customs, it's in our codes, it's in all these sorts of things. Now, that's a super quick version of what CRT is.
And that's kind of what I defined it as earlier, where we are looking for racism in everything. And it's very counterproductive, especially the further away we move in society. You would think there would just be less racism, because there is less racism now. I think there is. I think America is the least racist place that I can think of. But if you were to look at the way society is reacting, that would probably be the opposite of what people think now. They think it's more racism now. I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comments, though.
So happy to dive into that more, but I think we don't have to overcomplicate it, which is, do you think people should be judged based on the color of their skin?
It's not that I think that, but it's that it's happening. And you cannot ignore that I might not be treated the same as him as he walks through the door.
You're right, it is happening. Like at Coca-Cola, they say they need to train their employees to abolish whiteness. At AT&T, they said they would need to train their employees to get rid of whiteness. We have a supply and demand issue with racism in our country. We have an incredibly low supply of racism and an incredible demand to try to fulfill it. So we've created racism where it doesn't exist and try to turn everyone into mini racists against each other, which has now manifested itself into a massive anti-white movement in our country, where I believe more than anything else we should care about character, not skin color. Do you agree with that?
It's not. I don't believe.
Just say you agree. Just say you agree.
That you understand what I'm saying. It's not that I don't agree with not. I'm sorry. Oh, it's not that I don't agree with, you know, what you just said, but you have to realize that black people are like white people are not being hunted after. Y'all can come here and live a great freaking life.
I'm not being hunted after. What did you talk? Like, you're starting to really upset me, because we're not being hunted after. You said you can look around. You're in the same position they're in. And I don't mean that figuratively. You are quite literally in the same literal position as them. You go to the same school. The same exact position. The difference between you and them, though, and this is real, you can get scholarships for being black for going there. They're not getting any scholarships for being white from going there. And this is not me nitpicking. That's the truth. You can get scholarships for being black. You can get a higher acceptance rate for being black, especially if it has a low amount of black people at your university. That's just what it is. Is that true or false? But you're talking about them as if they're animals. We're not being hunted. Stop using that narrative.
Alabama is a safe haven. These PhD fraternities and sororities are a safe haven for white people.
You think you're being hunted?
Let me tell. Okay, y'all can laugh, but until you have walked as a black person on this campus, y'all truly don't understand. And I've gone to school with white people my whole life. I've gone.
So
but it's just.
I will end with this. You're not being hunted at the University of Alabama, and there is no boogeyman that's trying to get you.
It's not. You're making it seem.
You live in the least racist country in the history of the world.
You're in Alabama. You are literally in.
Your shirt says Alabama. Why are you acting as if Alabama is so racist when you're wearing it across your chest? Oh my goodness, man. You can't make this up. You really cannot make this up. You're wearing it across your chest. That's like me saying I hate LeBron while wearing a t-shirt with LeBron plastered across my chest. What? I hate headphones. This doesn't even make sense. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Let's get back. Let's finish this out.
The place where it's not okay.
Yes, you mean the place that has given you more talking time than any other person here, and where they sit respectfully.
You're supposed to shut me down and be like, go sit down? I mean, of
yes,
course I'm going to talk to you.
That would have happened 100 years ago. You're right. 100 years ago, you might not have been allowed to come into this room, which would have been
bow to you because
which would have been evil. No, instead, we are here. We're creating a movement to say we never want to go back to the segregation that once existed in this country that is now being pushed by people in corporate America, in academia, and other places. We want to strive for a country that cares about character and the soul and the spirit of the individual, not on tribes, not on the melanin content in people's skin. And I will say this as compassionately as I can, is that you are not being hunted as a black person in America. There's not a single statistic that affirms that. There's not a single data point. Instead, the opposite is true. We are the least racist, most accepting, multiracial country in the history of the planet, and I pray one day you'll be thankful to live in that country. Okay. Thank you for being here tonight.
Yeah, that was crazy. That was crazy. But if you have any thoughts or comments about this, let me know. LFR Jojo.